tuende kuchoma kwako. Kwani hatukupigia Raila kura, si hata mimi nilimpigia akashindwa na William Ruto, alafu anakuja kutuambia upuzi hapa. Hao watu hata nikasema hivi watu wapigwe marisasi, kwa nini hawezi kupigwa? Mimi nitapiga mtu risasi. Wewe ndio kama mtu baada kwa kanda fanya kazi. Toka hapa muende. Sasa unakuja kukamatwa na polisi hapa.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Gichuru. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, tap the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Like I say, this is the greatest YouTuber in the Republic of Kenya, and the E in my name stands for exactly what you need. Nakuru West Member of Parliament or legislator or lawmaker Samuel Arama has been caught on a viral video brandishing his firearm. Okay, so in the viral video, Nakuru West MP says that he will shoot somebody. Mimi nitapiga mtu risasi, I will shoot somebody. And this is after some protesters, I guess, were just around his car, and also his hotel has been pelted with stones. I think this is the reason why he was annoyed and was brandishing a gun and was ready to shoot at the protesters. Okay, so like you know, here in Kenya, if you're prominent, especially for the politicians, and also if you're a prominent businessman and you can afford to buy a firearm and to pay the license fees, and also you go through the process of becoming a licensed gun holder, you'll actually be given permission or a license authority by the government of the Republic of Kenya to own a firearm. And you're given that firearm for self-defense and not for misuse, like we have witnessed in the recent past. Now, this is not the first time in Kenya where we are witnessing a politician brandishing a firearm at unarmed civilians. It is actually something that has been there in Kenya. If you remember, some while ago, Njoroge, the MP, also had brandished a gun. This happened at a petrol station somewhere, and he had an altercation with those people, and in a bid to scare them away, he brandished the gun. He removed the gun and he actually shot, but he didn't shoot that person. It was actually an altercation between him and the former Nairobi aspirant for the gubernatorial election, His Excellency Polycarp Igathe. Okay, so that was another incident of gun brandishing, and it is something that has happened very, very much. Just the other day, we had the MP for Kitui somewhere.
Wewe ndio unasema roli ikuje ama nani? Wale wananiambia ni watu wa mkono. Nani si wa mkono wasema ikuje? Si upige simu, dereva kwa gari. Piga simu, dereva kwa gari ikuje. Hapana, are you call? Call. Weka call. Au no, talk to guys. Piga simu roli ikuje. Piga simu. Call, piga simu. Umetuma na nani na kutoka? Piga simu lori lete kupigia. Piga simu stupid. Piga driver simu alete. Nitakungua makende my friend. Piga.
Mbai brandishing a gun at a Kenya power officer who had come to disconnect his ranch from the national grid. And so he brandished the gun and threatened the officer and things like that, and assaulted even the officer. And these cases of MPs brandishing guns are on a rise. Yeah, I remember there was another judicial officer, must be the Deputy Chief Justice at the time, Nancy Baraza, who also brandished a gun and at a security guard at Village Market, and she got fired from the judiciary for that incident, which was seen as an incident of lack of discipline for a high-ranking member of the judiciary.
Mama mwenyewe alipotea muda kidogo, baadaye akarudi na gun. Akaniambia, I want to kill you now. If you want, I can kill you now.
Of a security guard who was allegedly assaulted and harassed by Kenya's Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President to the Supreme Court, Nancy Baraza, on New Year's Eve during a security checkup at the village market.
And guys, the issue of MPs coming out to brandish guns is something that is very, very common nowadays. And at the slightest provocation, MPs even go ahead and shoot. Even before the dust settles, Embakasi East Member of Parliament is already in court because of the same allegations, brandishing a gun and allegedly shooting DJ Evolve at an event at a club during a night out when they were having some enjoyment and things like that. He brandished the gun and allegedly shot DJ Evolve, who is currently still recovering in hospital, at home and in hospital and things like that. And it has been something that has been very, 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 very disheartening to see MPs who are supposed to uphold the laws they make, because they are the lawmakers in this country. They form parliament, the National Assembly, and that is a body that is mandated with the formulation of laws, and they come up with all these gun laws in this country. You should not misuse your firearm. You actually, when you misuse the firearm, it's normally taken away from you.
Mweshi bwana ujinga. Unajua yeye anatumia vijana kwa hivi kosi kukuja kuangaiza watu. Wakati nyama ito state house amepatiwa kwa kitu, anaanza kusema ati askari watumie risasi wapige wengine. Hiyo ni sheria gani? Na in fact hakuna mwenye ameguza mali ya
Arama hajawahi tuambia hata asante kutoka tumpitishe. Instead ya kutushukuru anasema tupigwe risasi na sisi tuko njaa. Sasa hii hata security ni mbovu, hatufanyi kazi mpaka usiku. Tunafunga kazi saa 10. Kama ni hivyo watuletee security na hatuna chakula.
The government normally repossesses the firearm, your license is revoked, and you have to stay without it. And it is difficult, or it is disheartening to see the same people who make the laws for us are the same people who are breaking the same laws they expect us to follow, and they expect dire consequences to happen to us when we don't follow this kind of sharias. So guys, what's your take about the ongoing gun, what do I call it? I wouldn't call it gun violence like in the United States, but I would call it misuse of the firearm, because we're not even supposed to know you have that firearm. You're not supposed to use it to scare us. You're supposed to use it when it's direly needed, when your life is in danger and there's nothing else you can do, and that's the only solution. But you're not supposed to misbehave at the slightest provocation. You're brandishing guns to taxpayers who buy this ammunition from their taxes and then give you security, vote you in, get this, go and make alliance and very tired and vote you in, and then you just wake up and brandish guns to these people. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. Samuel Arama needs to come out clean why he did that. Anyway, good news is that he didn't shoot at anyone like he was threatening. It was just a threat. Nobody lost his life. Nobody is injured. Nobody is maimed. That's a good thing. But it's not also good to brandish the gun anytime you want to. I mean, it scares people. It makes people frightened. It makes people feel bad, and it's not something that actually is a good sight to see. We've seen in the United States, gun violence has been very, very high, and One of the reasons is because they have access to guns from a very tender age. I guess it is 16 if I'm not wrong. 16, 18 there. And you're allowed to own a firearm, and you find even kids shooting at other kids in kindergartens, in elementary schools, people in the streets, once they get intoxicated, once they get a little kind of discomfort from people, they just resort in shooting. And it is something that is very, very despicable, and something that is very, very sad. Guys, do you think there is need for government to review gun laws? For instance, now we are having protests. We are seeing deaths on protests. And the people who are dying, they have bullet wounds. They are dying from bullets. Like that young man, the story was aired by Citizen TV. It was very disheartening. A bullet ran through his head from here to the other side. And he was not a protester. He was just caught in the crossroads. And he died, actually. He died, and others died. Like 8 people died. So, guys, do you think it's high time that the government actually comes to regulate the use of firearms? Because even police sometimes end up misusing the firearms. Yeah, remember the Kianjokoma brothers in Embu? That was in Embu during the mask saga. These guys were shot dead by police officers simply because they didn't have a mask. Can you get that? And actually, they were outside during the curfew hours. Yeah, that time there was a dawn to dusk curfew, I guess, and they were outside. They were caught outside. Police were forced to use firearm on these people. I mean, how do you shoot somebody because of a curfew? How do you shoot somebody because of a curfew? Is that person a terrorist? Is that person killing people? Is that person a robber? It's so bad. It's so bad. And I believe there is need for tightening the nose on the gun laws in this country, so that we don't see people just waking up and brandishing guns, just waking up and showing off their firearms. It's not really something that it's not really something that is pleasant. It is something that is very despicable. It's something that is not right at all. And I urge people who are licensed firearm holders to use it to protect lives. Remember when there was the Westgate attack a few years ago? Those people who are licensed gun holders, in fact, saved lives. They saved lives. They helped deal with the criminals. And that's the role of a firearm, guys. That's the main role or the main purpose you're given the fire, to protect lives, not to hurt, not to frighten, not to instill fear and things like that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This has been your guy, Gichuru. See you on the next one. I'll be here to bring you anything that is worth your time. In the meantime, thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you so much for subscribing. I love you so much, guys. Thank you.